Take two. Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to 21 Jewels, a wristwatch only series. So some of you may recognize me from Fat Cat Collection and from my other channel, Invicta Addiction. This is one for all different types of brand watches, affordable watches. So on this channel, you're going to see all kinds of different brands, all my watches from my personal collection, and any kind of collaborations that I build in the future or reignite from the past. You're going to see watches, So let's talk about the watch I want to share with you guys today. So when I said affordable watches, the price point on these is going to vary, but what you're not going to see is luxury tier watches. I don't believe in spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a watch. It's not about being able to afford it. Some will say, oh, well, if you could afford a Rolex, you'd have one. No, I have 150 watches. Obviously, if I wanted a Rolex, I would have got a Rolex. They just don't do anything for me. Not when you have watches that you can buy that are homage watches like this one here to an AP Royal Oak for $80. I mean, so I just don't find value in spending thousands of dollars. You know the old saying, risk versus reward? I don't really get the enjoyment out of knowing I spent a lot of money on anything. I prefer to get good deals, get good values, and have things that look nice, that make me feel good without breaking the bank. I'd rather put my money into other things or just save it. So let's talk about this bad boy today. Guys, with modern machining, back in the day when you got a replica, which this is not a replica, this is an homage. Homage is basically a nice way of saying a copy, okay? I've seen some of the Chinatown cheapy specials, and yeah, there's no comparison with the quality you're gonna get from a reputable brand. But it is scary how good these watches and some of the fakes out there are getting compared to the real deal. It just goes to show you that spending thousands of dollars just it's not what it's cracked up to be. A watch like this, a lot of the watch snobs out there will lead you to believe or try to convince you that a watch like this can't even hang with a $10,000 watch. And that's completely false. A lot of those differences you're going to see in higher end, luxury, expensive items it's going to be things under a macro lens. You're going to have to open the back up to look at, the space. I believe it's called like the spacer ring on the back, how they adapt the movement into the watch. There are differences, don't get me wrong, but they're not $10,000 differences. So you're not going to pick up something like this and feel this in your hands and pick up a Royal Oak and say, oh my God, man, this Royal Oak blows this thing away. It's just not going to happen. A guy with a trained eye might see those differences. The average person is not. So keep that in mind. Again, with this channel, you're going to get affordable watches. And the great thing about this and why I wanted to create this separate channel was because my original channel, Fat Cat Collection, started off reviewing only watches for the most part. And I feel like, I wanted to give a couple different platforms, a couple different channels for guys who really only want to follow me. There's some people out there who don't want to look at cowboy boots and jeans and men's fashion items. They just want watches. And so I wanted to share my passion for watches, which is huge, on a watch-specific channel. So that's why I created 21 Jewels. So without further ado, let's take a look at this. So this is a brand called Didun, and Didun makes a couple different watches that are homage watches. When I say homage, we're really just talking a copy. This is a copy to a Royal Oak. They basically have duplicated everything down, really down. They duplicated everything with the exception of adding the Royal Oak name to the watch. They've added their own brand. Now I will tell you that I don't know who makes these watches in China, if it's one factory. You can find many different brands. Feast is another brand I've seen. They're all 99% identical. You can even find the legitimate fakes. And I'm not, I'm not judging anyone. Buy what makes you happy. I'm not really a fake watch collector. I do have a couple, but mainly my reasons for buying like a fake Submariner on DHgate was mainly just to see where the quality's at. It's a watch that barely gets worn, and if somebody ever asked me, it's more of a fun thing for me. If somebody were to be like, what kind of watch? Which they wouldn't because nobody notices it. But if they did, I'd be like, oh, Rolex. And then I'd kind of see what they say. And then I'd be like, oh no, it's not real. Because I don't really feel the need to try to flaunt what I have. I enjoy collecting. Again, to each their own, if that's what you like. And where is I'm saying that? Because if you do want a legitimate, like nice looking copy, you can get a watch like this that has the AP logos without the Didun or Feast name. And again, I'm not going to link to those, but they're easy to find. I'll link you to DHgate where you pick up this watch and eBay. And from there, you can find what you're looking for. So just an incredible watch. They've duplicated everything down to the way the face is. They kind of have this kind of waffleized face. 316 stainless steel, incredible the way the band's put together. The quality is amazing. Now, some of the things you're going to find though is, and I want you guys to be a little bit aware of this, is that when you're looking at some of these brands and how they list them, you might find companies listing, and this is unfortunately it's something that this company has done, is that they will, let me see what this listing says. They will list this as having a Miyota movement. There's lots of homage watches that use Seiko NH35s, Miyotas, affordable pre-manufactured movements, right? Which I'm a huge fan of. Keep in mind that some of these brands will use Chinese automatic movements. There's nothing wrong with that, but you want to make sure when you buy from somebody that you're getting what you're paying for. Again, nothing wrong with that. These have what's called a Miyota movement, and so it's M-I-Y-O-T-A. No, the legitimate Miyota is Miyota, M-I-Y-O-T-A. This is Miyota, like Yoda. It's M-I-Y-O-D-A. So in some of these listings, they will list it as Miyota with a T, and then in fine print with a D. That does violate eBay policy and policy at most of these sites, but just keep it in mind, it's still a great quality watch. This does have the D, and I mentioned that to them. I said, I'm a little confused. I had a seller, when I worked with this seller for the collaboration, I bought two of these. I bought their Nautilus homage and the AP homage. I basically got cost on both these to do a video. I wanted them anyway, so I was going to buy them, but figure if I can get a deal, work it out, benefit myself and them, great. That was something they said they can make it with a Miyota, but it would cost more. So again, the way I am, a little distrustful of companies and people, I just said, let me just get what you have and we'll go from there. I've had this watch for about 3 years now. Haven't had any issues with it. It runs great. And I would say that this movement is a copy of, let's see here. I'd say it's more of a copy of like a Seiko NH35, but we don't really know what's in here. It's probably like a Seagull, to be honest with you. But again, don't downplay those Chinese movements. They are incredible. Remember, guys, these aren't NASA space shuttles. There's not, there's moving parts in here, the things to make it work, but this isn't some space age high-tech thing. We've been making watches a very long time, and they've streamlined the process. They've made the process more affordable, and you can get incredible watches for an incredible value. And the nice thing about, automatic movements like this, for the most part, once it's sealed, it's sealed. And you're going to get, some guys be like, oh, it's a good, disposable watch. No, the watch like this will last you a lifetime. I mean, again, there's no guarantees, but all my watches, of 150 watches, I've only had an issue with one, and it was an inexpensive gift I got from a guy. It was I'm not sure which model, but it's a fake Rolex, and that one broke. All the legitimate name stuff, and remind you, we're talking about a watch that's 25 years old, and a watch that, had, who knows where it came from. So, you could have good and bad luck with anything. I've talked to many people who have Rolex watches and had issues with them, had APs, had problems, and, very few people have had issues with, I'm sure people have had issues with Invicta and Diduns. I'm sure it's happened at some point. But remember, you're paying $80 for a watch, you're not too concerned with it. So pretty amazing. I mean, pretty amazing in the quality. So as far as specifics on this, you're right here. Here they are, right here. This one's advertised right here. Luxury steel Miyota. So I highly doubt that most of these listings are going to be a Miyota. They're probably the Miyota. So just kind of keep that in mind. I don't mean that to discourage anybody from buying it, but make sure if that is really important to you that you contact the seller, a different seller of course, and really look at what they're listing and make sure that you question that, because there is a little bit of a word manipulation when it comes to some of these watches. And these are coming from I mean, in most cases, you're probably going to get these from overseas in China, and just kind of keep that in mind. I have no problem with it. Again, I bought it with the Miyota movement, but I want to know that going in. That I don't want to pay for one thing and get something. I don't want to bait and switch. So we want honesty. So and that's what I'm giving you guys about this incredible watch. As far as the other specifics on it, size. You know, this one here has your day of the month. You have your time. That's about it. You have a little bit of lume. You don't buy this watch for the lume. It's a 20 centimeter band length. You have 3 ATMs of water resistance, or 30 meters, and 26 millimeter lug width, 41 millimeter case size. So small watch, definitely not your gigantic watch like Invicta. But remember, if you're used to a 38 millimeter watch, this might be big for you. So I love it. I love the design. I've always liked the Royal Oak. I think it's very classy, clean watch. It's a watch that definitely gets wrist time out of my collection, and I encourage you to check it out. You know, not every day do I want to wear a big giant watch. Some days I wear smaller watches, and this is definitely one I like to rotate through my collection. So let's check it out. So again, something I've always prided myself on any channel, any watch review I do, is showing you guys what a watch looks like on a guy my size, my height, my weight. I'm about 185 pounds, about 5'7", and I have a 7-inch wrist. So this is what a watch is going to look like on a guy, again, my size. And I'll get back a little so you get an idea. You know, and I always use this a lot when it comes to, you know, big watches. Can you be, like, I wouldn't say I'm a big guy at all, you know. You know, I think probably most dudes are taller. Guys can obviously be more muscular, much heavier. You don't have to be. You can be who you want to be and wear what watch you like. There's no rules on this. Always buy and wear what makes you happy. And this is a clean watch. This is super classy. And you get an idea. You know, most guys I think have like a 6 1/4 to 7.5 inch wrist. 7 inches I think pretty standard. It's just an incredible, classy watch. I love this one. Definitely something. I got my dad a while back. I got him a Neymar 10-year battery Rolex Homage Submariner style watch. That was actually I gifted it to him. It came from Neymar, because I work with Neymar whenever they have a new release. And so it was just a watch. I have 3 Neymars already. I said, well, let me see what my dad thinks of this watch, and he absolutely loves it. He wears it all the time. But this is one that he kind of been eyeballing. So I think at a later date, if I want to get him something that's watch related, I'll probably pick him up one of these. I also often thought about buying one of these in the rose gold as well. Look at how that band just kind of shimmers. And you know, we can't give Didun credit for this because it's not their design, but I tell you, for a homage watch, for a copy, it is just incredible quality. It's amazing. Just a beautiful watch. Classy, clean, sexy. I mean, you really can't go wrong with one of these. It's amazing. Now, again, if you guys are, you know, let me come back here. We'll close here. If you guys are the type that, you know, again, I'm not disrespecting anybody, you know. If you do want to, you know, put out the vibe that you have a lot of money and you want to wear ones that are not real, you know, and fakes. Again, not my style, but if you're going to, you can get these same quality. Again, just, you know, look through the listings. You'll find them. Just, you know, look for AP. Just search AP. You know, you'll find it. And I'll put the link to both DHgate and, of course, eBay, where you can pick these up. And if you do get one, let me know what you think. I'm really curious. I love this brand. I hope that. You know, I haven't bought any other Diduns because these are really the only 2 that I wanted, and that's really what they specialize in, is like the homage watches or the copies. You have, you know, the Royal Oak, the Nautilus, and then they probably make a Submariner as well. Brands like Pagani Design, same thing. All these watches are amazing quality for the under $100 price point. So it really is incredible. We're living in a pretty exciting time to get amazing products like this for a great price point. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. I'm always happy to help. Links are in the description as always. Do subscribe to the channel. But if you do subscribe to the channel, click the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. And if you do subscribe to the channel, check me out on Fat Cat Collections, where you can find over 1,000 videos on every watch that I own already reviewed. Again, if you're specific to watches, I will try to, you know, it's a little bit time consuming to run 3 channels. I'm going to do the best at trying to pump out videos. Fat Cat Collections, I generally put out videos twice per week. This channel will probably once per month, but stay tuned for more, guys. If you're Invicta only fan, if you want the Invictas, find me on Invicta Addiction as well. Links to all these are in the description of the video. Guys, have a great day and take care.